Great leaders are also great communicators. What's going on, guys? This is Philip Sessions, your communication strategist, here to talk to you today about the three best things that you as a leader can do to communicate better. First and foremost, you want to make sure as a communicator that you are clearly telling what the goal is. Too often I see where leaders will give some direction. They'll say, you need to do this, and they tell you what to do, but they don't tell you the reason behind it. They don't tell you the overall goal of why it is that you're doing what you do. And now, of course, there are times where it is situations where just do this, just do it now, get it done so we can go on to the next step. But when you're talking to your employees, it's a great thing and a great opportunity for you to help them understand the business by telling them what the overall goal is. Why exactly are they doing that? And the more often that you can do this, the more that you're going to get buy-in from your employees to be able to do the things that you want them to do. So unfortunately, as leaders, we have all this information in our head, but we don't transfer it down to our employees so they understand and they can get buy-in, because it's exciting for us as a leader. We see what's coming ahead and we know the things that need to be done. And so we have other people do that work, of course, because we're the leader, we're the visionary, we're seeing the road ahead, and we're overseeing the people that are doing the day-to-day work. But those people that are doing that day-to-day work, they don't know the reason why a lot of times, which can be disheartening. And they see that maybe you're not doing the work, and we all understand, we all have our role, but sometimes we want to know more. We want to know why. And it can be frustrating for employees. And this is a very common thing where employees do get frustrated by that. But you still need to make sure that they understand the goal so that less frustration can happen. It's not going to be perfect there, but you want to make sure of that. Second thing is go in with confidence. This is always going to be one of those top tips when it comes to communication and leadership, is to be confident. If you are not confident in the direction of the company, if you are not confident in what needs to be done next, and be confident as well when you said it needed to be done one way and you perhaps turn 180, you still need to be confident in that. That way people will follow you. And how do you be confident in your communication as a leader? Sometimes that comes down to just saying, hey, I messed up here. Here's something I didn't see. And having that conversation too, being confident enough to say, I messed up. That will show so much respect that people will then have for you, because you're willing to admit the fault you have, which in turn actually makes it where your employees feel safer with actually admitting faults that they have too, or things that they messed up on. Because if a leader is willing to say they messed up on something, then they can say that as well. So have that confidence, because then it also brings people in with you as well, and they'll have buy-in. Because any salesperson could tell you that they can't sell ice to an Eskimo if they don't believe that the ice will be beneficial for that Eskimo. I know it's a crazy scenario if you think about it, because they have ice all around them, they have snow all around them, they have pretty much everything they would need when it comes to water, or frozen water, that is. But if you really come in with confidence and help the employees feel that you are going in the right direction, that will help them out. And then lastly is listening. This is by far, to me, the most important thing. I would say even more important than confidence. Those two kind of go hand in hand, but listening as a leader. And I know it's not a communication tip directly, because we're not speaking, we're not writing the content or the things we want to say, but we're listening to what the employees are saying. And why this is so important as a leader is because we can assume everything that we want. We can see the big picture. We can know where we're trying to go as a company. But those people that work on this every single day, they see things differently. There was actually an employee one time that I was working with, and they were working on a car, and this is what they normally do. They sand cars. So they're constantly sanding the cars, making sure there's no burrs or anything or weld spatter, whatever on these cars. And they noticed one day, man, something feels off about this. And I was working with this employee and this leader, and the leader was like, what? He went over there and he felt it. He couldn't really feel a difference. But this employee works on hundreds of cars every single day. And so when that body of that car, the metal on that body gets just a slight bit different, they can tell the difference. It's just like whenever you have your phone in your left pocket versus your right pocket, you don't really notice it when it's in your left pocket, which is the pocket I wear my phone in. But when I put it in my right pocket, it just feels off, even though there's nothing wrong in this case with the phone. But on this car, there actually end up being something wrong, but it was something that you didn't really notice until it changed, and something that as a leader, they would never have noticed because they don't do that work. And they had other people come over and check it out, had engineers and quality people come over, and they really couldn't tell a difference until they finally started digging into it. And they did find there was a defect in some of the stamping process when it came to that car body. But it was all because that leader decided to listen to that employee. So sometimes not listening to your employees can be detrimental. And not only detrimental in that could have cost the company hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars or anything like that, but it can also be detrimental because your employees will no longer want to work with you. Think how detrimental that is. It's already hard enough to find a good employee. It's already hard enough to train up somebody to be able to do a specific job and to get them to know you and to have possibly built up trust. To do all these things is so hard. For you to not listen to them, then that can jeopardize that relationship. So the communication of listening is, to me, the most important thing, because after all, we're humans in this day of artificial intelligence and autonomous robots and all these robots coming in and doing a lot of different things. That human touch, that listening skill is the most important thing when it comes to leadership, in my opinion. I would say maybe second would be that confidence, because you have to have confidence in what you speak, but really listening when an employee talks to you, listening when another leader talks, just listening between the lines, between what somebody says, because they may say a bunch of stuff, but they don't really fill in that void. Or you pick up on something based on their body language, which is a part of listening as well. You know, it's not with the ear, you're listening with your eyes, you're observing and everything. But having that listening skill as a leader is by far the most effective way to be a leader and communicate. So just as a recap, the 3 keys to being a great and effective leader with your communication skills is: number 1, telling what the goal and the whole purpose behind the tasks that your employees do. 2, speaking with confidence no matter what, whether you are going in the right direction or the wrong direction, making sure that you're confident at all times, and also admitting when you messed up to help continue to build that confidence and that rapport with your employees. And number 3, listening actively to your employees. That is so important. And if you want some help with this, I would be more than happy to help you out with your communications, because I help leaders every single day become better and more effective communicators, which in turn increases their profit of their company and the effectiveness of their employees, and also boost morale and retention rate. But guys, also make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel here, because I can't get this message out without you. I can't help more leaders as well as employees in the end be able to be better, have a better life, because nobody quits a job due to the work most of the time. It's because of the manager. So if you want to be an effective leader or have your leader be more effective, share this episode with them so they can learn better ways to communicate. Or let me know who that manager is and I'll go share it with them. That way, maybe you don't get in trouble because they may need it that bad. And this could be offensive to them if you shared it with them. But with that, guys, have a healthy and blessed day and see you next time.